This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, pretty good rare here. Floor is a 3-mana 3/2 haste. And it's not that hard to get more than 1/3/2 out of the card. You do have to pay for it again every turn, so it's not like insane value, but being able to pay 3 and get a 3/2 every turn is some serious business. Spyglass Siren's great, as is kind of the case lately. Like any 1-drop that does something when it enters the battlefield is pretty good and limited. Oaken Siren's been really good too. I think blue overall has been the best color in this format. And it's partly because it has really good commons and uncommons. I mean, Chart of Course is pretty good too. Itali's Favor has been a big overperformer. Way better than I expected it to be. That said, I think we take Corpses, it's just a really good value card. We do need to end up in a deck that can descend reasonably often to really get there, but I don't think that's that hard in this format. So we could take Zoyoa. It's another card that likes it if you've descended at least once in a turn. Black-red is less about milling yourself a bunch like black-green and black-blue can do, and more about, discarding a card and triggering cards like this, or sacrificing something and triggering a card like this. And Zoyoa is pretty strong. Like, if you can get it going early, it's pretty nuts. Huatli's Final Strike, very good. Waterwind Scout, another really good blue common, which is a big reason why I think blue is just so deep in commons. I think we take the Lava Tongue. I like Fanatical Offering too. But yeah, we'll go with Lava Tongue here. These two cards kind of want us to do the same thing, and they're both pretty good. So, all right, Alexihili's Lattice. It's a perfect example of the usual way Black-Red wants to trigger Descend stuff, and that is you just discard one card. You're not going crazy milling your whole deck or anything, but, it does it. And then in the late game, it turns into a creature, so I like that. Deathcat Marionette kind of checks the boxes too, but I think the Lattice is just better. Most, 80% of the craft cards are just, really good. And, it seems like most sets have a mechanic where that's kind of true. And that's the mechanic in this set where that's kind of true. But yeah, we'll take the Lattice. Okay, whole bunch of good red cards here. None of them are nuts, but Idol of the Deep King, Rumbling Rockslide, and Plundering Pirate are all things I like. I think I like the Idol the most. Generating a 2-for-1, you don't quite get there because, the equipment on the other side isn't exactly worth the card, but it's removal with some big upside. Yeah. Plundering Pirate is nice. Mephitic Draft, if we end up with sack stuff, which you can end up with some of in this deck, it gets to be really good, but we'll take the removal that... the removal with upside. Okay, so here's the kind of card that can sort of set up our descending. Lodestone Needle has been another pretty big overperformer overall. Monster Store's okay. Justice, not so much. Lodestone Needle's definitely the best card in this pack, and by kind of a wide margin. I'm thinking about taking it a little bit. I wouldn't hate it if we ended up in blue-red. And the Acolyte's okay, but the Needle's just so much better that I think we're going to take it. Okay, so if blue's, open, it's pretty hard not to want to be in it, because as I've already said in this video, it's potentially, for me so far in the format, it's felt like the best color. And Crewmate is great. It's going to give you a 2-for-1 a lot of the time. Ideally, we're in blue-red where it's most likely to give it to us, but it's good either way. Hot Foot Gnome's okay, but Crewmate is just so much better that it's hard to say no to it. Oh, how awkward is that? I know they banned this because it's all glitched out, but they should probably just not have it in packs. Instead of making somebody open a pack and be like, oh, that's a card I can't even play. Anyway, Rampaging Spiketail is probably the pick here. Council of Echoes is okay. I don't see us being that good at getting it going, though. And I like, this Swamp Cycler's fine. Yeah, they banned it because it's glitched out on Arena. Like, it doesn't work how it's supposed to. All right, Tithing Blade is a card that definitely has me wanting to move back into, you know, like it's just a really good black card, so I think we're going to take it here. And I get banning it in all those formats, but leaving it in packs is just weird to me. All right, so green's pretty open, but none of these cards are that good. We'll grab Out of Air. I don't love it, but it's fine. Okay. Probably Sunfire Torch is the pick here. It's another card that can trigger Descend while, you know, being a removal spell. So, Pit of Offerings is kind of interesting. Hates on the Graveyard, which definitely matters in the format. And, you know, coming out of the first pack with one random cave in tow is not a horrible idea. This is a pretty good blue card, so it could be... Yeah, I think we take the Scout. And yet another really good blue common, incidentally. If it's wheeling, like... I don't know. If we're gonna be, I don't know if we're gonna be blue-black or blue-red or black-red. I mean, any of those is possible at this point. All right, so we'll take the draft here. It's definitely, you know, these two were unplayable, so easy not to take them. And draft is definitely the best card in the pack. It's best in black-white, but you know, it works out okay here. Yeah, we're going to cut the red card just to cut the red card, but as I said, it's unplayable. There's some cards that are very easy to tell they're an F in the set review, and Zoyoa's Justice is one of them. Okay, so Waylaying Pirates. You know, for really in like blue-black, I think I would want Sage of Days, but I'm not sure where we're going to end up, and Waylaying Pirates works well in blue-red or blue-black. So... I don't think the Ancient One's particularly good. I think it just takes way too much work to really do its thing, and it's just so bad early. I mean, it's not bad. I think I would play it if I was in blue-black, but first of all, I'm not certain we're going to be in blue-black. Second of all, this pack has two very strong red cards in Geological Appraiser and the Scallywag. And I just think, you know, this is just better. You know, it doesn't have as high of a ceiling, maybe, but the floor on this is, like, so much higher than the Ancient One's completely miserable floor. So we'll take the Appraiser. You know, it's not splashable or anything, but are we moving back into black-red? I don't know. You know, this card, I've been like destroyed by it a couple of times, but all the data would indicate it's not actually very good. I've just had bad luck against it. Screaming Phantom, something that can trigger our Descend, like did you descend this turn effects. Another chance. I like to have one of in most of my black decks. This is another card that can help you trigger Descend relatively easily. I do like Oaken Siren. Like, it's a really good common. I'm just not sure where we're going to end up here. Like, if I'm going to end up in blue-black or blue-red, Oaken Siren's really good. But if I'm in black-red, not so much. Maybe it's just the best card here, though. I kind of think it is. So I'm going to take it. Okay, so we do have Ukbenbach here, which... Right now, we're not great at getting to Descend 8, but it is a powerful card for sure. I like Puzzle Door for setting, you know, Descend stuff up. Fanatical Offerings, nice. Tomb Raider's pretty good. I'm leaning towards Ukbenbach here. I wish we, you know, if I knew it was going to happen blue-black, I would have gone harder on Mill, and I knew there was a chance, but it seemed like things were open enough that it wasn't the best route for us, but now I kind of think it is. This is real strong, and we're not going to be taking it, obviously, because we're not really, you know, we're looking at a bunch of different colors, but white is not one of them, but this is an insane uncommon, which it looked like it would be in the set review, and it has, in fact, panned out that way. Draw a card, gain 2, and then in the late game, it usually just wins you the game if you can craft. That's pretty good. I think we'll take Marionette here, since now we're suddenly interested in going a little harder on self-mill and stuff, which, you know, I wonder if the Ancient One will wheel. That would be cool at this point. Ooh, Join the Dead. Yeah, that's a great removal spell. So we're going to go ahead and take it. It isn't a permanent, and you have to deal with that. You know, if you're really trying to descend, that can be a problem, but, you know. Okay, so Waterlogged Hulk. I haven't played with it yet, but it is obviously a pretty darn good enabler for blue-black. So I think I'm going to grab it here. Yeah, over Unlucky Drop. Kind of want to see how if it's actually worth it. Like, I do think this format, a lot of the time, is a synergy format. So, it definitely makes me interested in going that route. Trying out a card that's like all synergy. Cogwork Wrestler is pretty nice. We do have one card that likes artifacts. I think we take it over Screaming Phantom. Okay, so blue-black does look very open. There's another crewmate. We do have a bunch of artifacts, few pirates. So crewmate going to be pretty good in the deck. Inverted Iceberg does help us mill, and it becomes a very real creature late. We've also got decent removal, another card that mills us, and Hidden Cataract. All of these are cards I like a lot, really. I think we just grab another crewmate, though, honestly. I know it doesn't have any synergy, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 like every time we play it. Take the Gnar here. All right, grab another chance that I always like to have. Also another mill card, so has that going for it. I guess we might play Out of Air now. Yeah, I don't think the Ancient One's going to wheel for us. We'll take a Fanatical Offering here. You know, we're not like an amazing deck for Fanatical Offering, but we're not bad either, so... Okay, I mean, I think I like Skull Taker a little more than I like Cave Worm. Don't love either, but, you know. There's Gishath. Not particularly good and limited, but, you know. Okay. Nothing super exciting for us here. Didact Echo, not that great. It's probably been an underachiever so far based on how good I thought it would be. I may just take Hermetic Nautilus. Like, it's just a nice 2-drop. It's an artifact. We have a few cards that care about that. And it's certainly better than the Acolyte is going to be in this deck, or Relic's Roar, and I think better than Didact Echo, too. I mean, it's definitely not exciting, but it does the job. Okay. This is one I haven't gotten to play with yet. I think you kind of need to be in black-white to get full value out of it, and we're not sacking things well enough. I do like Confounding Riddle a lot. Loads our graveyard, or it's a counterspell, and those are both things we're pretty interested in right now. So we're going to go ahead and grab the Riddle here. Ooh, Tyrion's Journal. Yeah, I think this is pretty strong. It takes some work to transform, but once you do, like... It's nuts. Also, it's another way to set up Descend stuff. If we got blue-red, this would have been pretty nice, but that's not where we are, and the Journal is really powerful, so I don't feel bad about that. Okay, so maybe we're interested in Sage of Days now, a card that just sets up our graveyard for us, mostly. Yeah, probably don't play Out of Air. If I need a counterspell slot, if I want to have one, then Confounding Riddle is definitely better. It is sad I passed that Ancient One. I don't remember what we took over it. It was a Geological Appraiser, so, you know, hindsight being what it is, it's kind of sad. But what are you going to do? I don't like Hurl into History very much. Like, when you do pull it off, it's great most of the time. But there are lots of times when it just doesn't do enough. This is a pretty weak pack, though. I don't really want Fanatical Offering or Pirate Hat or Acolyte or Ancestral Reminiscence or Hurl into History. Maybe it is just Hurl. It certainly has the highest ceiling of all of these cards. I already have one Offering, which is why I don't really want it. It is good, but we're not so good with it that I want more than one. But maybe it is just what I'm supposed to take. Like, if I had more good things to sack, I would be more excited about it, but we kind of don't. There's Bartolome, if we'd gone black-white. So we've got a Necropolis versus Chart a Course, which is basically what we're looking at here. I don't hate Brackish Blunder or Mephitic Draft, but I think these two are better. I think I go Necropolis. Yeah, I can sack Draft to it. When that lines up, it's pretty darn good, but you can't really count on it lining up. And yeah, we definitely don't want a third one, but I also don't want a first Relics Roar or a second Spike Tail, really. So I'll just take another one, I guess. Well, there's another crewmate. I do think we take it over Ray of Ruin. We don't have a ton of removal, but yeah, we're doing pretty darn good on artifacts and pirates, and I think that means we grab crewmate. All right, we'll take a Didact Echo now. So, another Sage of Days. I don't know that we're going to play two of those, but... It does kind of feel like maybe black-white. I mean, in terms of sack outlets and payoffs, there were a lot of those, you know, flowing. And we saw the black-white signposts, too, so... Pretty tempting to think about what a black-white deck would look like. Yeah, that pick where I took the Appraiser, like, yeah, the Appraiser has a way higher floor than the Ancient one. But maybe the fact that this costs double red should have been enough for me to be like, maybe I don't want to go that route. Okay. So, in terms of draft, the only way we really have to get the value out of it that we really want is Fanatical Offering, and I just don't think that's enough to make it worth running. So, that I think is a cut. Corpses of the Lost. Hey, this does buff Ukbenbach. Do we have more skeletons than Ukbenbach, or is that it? That's it. We do have a skeleton. Another skeleton, though. Yeah, I think we cut draft. Do I have enough random expendable artifacts to make two Fanatical Offerings make sense? And, you know, you can sack creatures, too, but we're not good at making tokens. We're not good at... yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. We're not good at making tokens. And I think that makes me want to go down to just one. Skull Takers, nothing special. And I don't know that we really want Spike Tail in the deck. I mean, it does set up Descend. You know, that's something. But, I mean, I could consider going to 16 lands. I mean, I have a ton of 2s. I do also have a bunch of craft, you know, which you have to take into account. So, I mean, I could consider going down to 16 and leaving Spike Tail in. I don't hate it. I don't hate that. But maybe I'm just supposed to cut like Sage of Days. It's okay. You know, we want to load the graveyard and stuff, but... Yeah, 2 mana cycling is way worse than 1 mana cycling. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut a Sage. And leave in Spike Tail. You know, Sage has like a greater ability to put things into our graveyard, I guess, but Spike Tail's flexibility combined with, you know, it's pretty darn impactful when you actually cast it, I think is enough to make it one copy of it better than another Sage. So, is this the mana split I want? Probably. We just have more blue 2-drops and 1-drops than we do black. We do have one double black card, but having the Spike Tail kind of smooths that out a little. I just hope we get to make a bunch of skeleton tokens. That's what's most important. Okay, well, this hand is questionable, especially when we're not on the play. It's almost like our deck doesn't have like 15 2-drops in it, you know, when you look at this hand. Yeah, I think we got a mulligan. All right, that's much better. I'm thinking about sending a land back, but maybe Ukbenbach isn't terrible to send back either. I mean, it is a pretty real creature, but we're not playing it for a while. I'm still going to send a land back. Like, between River Herald Scout and a couple of draw steps, we're pretty likely to hit land drops, right? Right? Puzzle door. Yep, see, we hit a land drop. Do I play Herald Scout first? Maybe. Yeah, I do like the puzzle door. If I knew I was going to end up in this deck, might have picked one up somewhere. The only thing about playing the Siren is it can set up... Like, right now I don't have anything to play off of it, but we might find it. So, I think we'll just go ahead and try to cast it anyway. See if it lives. It does set up our pirates, which matters, certainly. Yeah, see, they've already got Descend 2 going over there. They're also blue-black. I'm guessing they're probably better at graveyard nonsense. Yeah, that's nice. Ooh, hello. Okay, well, works for me. So... River Herald Scout's Explore may allow us to set up the Corpses of the Lost. We'll see what happens. Okay. Unfortunately, I do not control an artifact. This is going to have haste next turn, which is pretty sweet, I think. Trying to decide if it's better to just play a 3/3 here than it is to explore and put this back in my hand, because I kind of just want this in play, honestly. So it may just be better to play a Gray Ogre here. We're gonna attack. It's kind of free for both of us, but yeah, we're just gonna play a very unexciting Gray Ogre. But then we play a 7/4 Menace Vigilance next turn. That's pretty good. Well, Menace Vigilance Haste, I should say. Seems good. They're like, wait a second, that's a skeleton? Yeah, you know, it's really sad when you have to play out something and it has, like, an ability that you needed to set up for it to actually work out for you. But sometimes you gotta do it. Like, spending your mana on... all of your mana on adding a body to the board, even if it's not exciting, is just what you gotta do in Limited sometimes, you know? So, should be able to get Corpses of the Lost back this turn, between the two cards in our hand. It's too bad this has a skull on it, but it's not a skeleton. Like, what's that about? Who made that design choice? This should be a skeleton fungus, right? Maybe? Do I keep saying Grey Ogre? Yeah, I mean Hill Giant, obviously. Interesting decision when I have a menace haste. Well, the haste part doesn't even matter. The menace part is what matters. That can't block. I don't see how they're not dead here. But just to be careful, I'm going to go ahead and play Lodestone Needle and tap down their Mycoid. Aha! Well, that still doesn't work. Oh, it does actually. They go to 2. Alright. I see how it is. So, Marionette's basically guaranteed to get us the card back. So let's do that. Yep. They do have a bunch of mana and cards. It's not impossible that they can stabilize here. But it's not going to be easy either. So, especially because we can throw a 3/2 haste onto the board this turn and then play River Herald Scout to set it up again. Okay, yeah. Gaining a ton of life is one way to fix their problems. What happens? So they block. Gain 5. They have to... I think I'm supposed to still play Corpses of the Lost and swing out here. Yeah. Wait. That means they could block, like, Waylaying Pirates or the Skeleton token. I think maybe I'm just supposed to swing with Ukbenbach, huh? Because they block, like, this with the Leech, which takes them up to 7. But, okay. But then they should still take enough. Yeah. Especially if, well, if I could explore and know I would get a counter. Oh, I don't actually need the counter. That's right. Yeah, going up to 7 is not enough. This thing can't block, so... Yeah. Well, I said I wanted to make skeleton tokens, and we got our wish in game 1. Plus, we got the Ukbenbach combo. Like, playing Ukbenbach, that's probably not going to line up again. Like, turn 3 skeleton, Lord, token generator thing, and then turn 5 Ukbenbach. Like, if we keep doing that, it's going to be hard for us to lose. 5 mana, 7/4, Vigilance, Haste, Menace is a beating. Doesn't matter if we ever get it back, you know? Alright. Okay. We got this again. We also have this to set it up quite nicely. I am curious to see how this card plays out. Like I said in the draft. Yeah, by the end of most formats, I'm around 60. I'm sure that'll happen eventually here. At the beginning of formats, typically, I do better than most people because, you know, as a result of doing a set review, I generally know more about the format than most people. So, usually it goes down. Well, that's annoying. Especially because it can destroy Corpses of the Lost. We are going to go ahead and mill. Man, you know, drawing that 2-drop would have been pretty good. People have a tendency to look at something like that and think, like, you know, that's why self-mill is bad. But you got to remember that it's random, just like drawing a card is. So, you know, you can't really focus on when it doesn't do exactly what you want it to do. I hope they miss. We have 3 of those, don't we? They're probably not going to miss, that's the thing. Although, They're probably a little more likely to miss than we are. I'm not sure there are any white pirates, for example. There might be one. But it looks like they probably grab something. Yeah, well, they just grab a blue pirate. That works. Yeah, so let's mill. And then let's swamp cycle. Hi, Tukey. Oh, yeah, we have the journal, too. So our Corpses of the Lost is probably going to get blown up, but, like, probably... Oh, actually, we could just keep returning it. Okay. It's hard to blow up if we do that. So let's attack them. Then I think we mill a card. Doesn't have to be a permanent, and it is. We'll return this to our hand. Makes Deconstruction Hammer a lot less effective. We have milled all... couple of nice blue uncommons, but again, you can't focus on it too much. I mean, it definitely feels better when you're milling away lands and stuff, but, you know, you're just not going to do that all the time. Okay. Well, let's play Corpses again. Okay, you're gonna kill one of my tokens. There are worse things. Okay, well, we may get to set up Ukbenbach the harder way. Like, they can get rid of Corpses, but I will get another token before they can. Ooh, they did whiff that time, which is welcome. A welcome, a welcome thing. They can sack it whenever. Yeah, I mean, if we always got Corpses of the Lost, obviously the fanatical whatever would be awesome. And you know, maybe we will, I guess. Okay. They can hit us for 5 here. I mean, I get to swing back for up to 6. But, yeah. Okay, so Corpses of the Lost. Swing for 6. I mean, getting back Ukbenbach is like a huge deal right now because of Corpses. So I think playing Deathcap Marionette here makes sense. Like, if I can Deathcap Marionette and Waterlogged Hulk and all 3 of those hit permanents, we can get this back next turn. So I think that's what we do. Permanent. We can wait to use this time. I do only have 5, so I do need to draw a land. I mean, that's not, it's not guaranteed it's going to happen, obviously, but I think setting it up is well worth it. Especially because our plan B is, like, play corpses again and play... Well, actually, I returned this to my hand, so it's not going to have haste. I probably should have thought about that in retrospect. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's bad news. That makes things more difficult, for sure. They're finally... No, it costs 3. Yeah. Alright, so we did get to 6, but it's not going to have haste anymore, for reasons I've already discussed. The question is whether it's still best to get back Ukbenbach here. It probably is. It's been hard to find time for our journal in this particular game. I mean, I could also play corpses and then not return it this turn. Corpses plus Oaken Siren, attack them. Yeah. But then they can blow up corpses with Deconstruction Hammer. I mean, it will cost them a bunch of mana to do it. It's the upside. This is also potentially unblockable. Or not potentially. I mean, it would be unblockable. But I don't get to attack with it this turn. So let's go ahead and play corpses again. See what happens there. I wonder whether transforming this... Are they just going to decide to take it? That'd be good for us, I think. Their ability to gain life is really obnoxious right now. Speaking of which. Drop them to 11. Play Oaken Siren. And I don't think we want to return this. Because having this come down as a 7/4 Menace, Vigilance, is a lot better. Haste, that matters too. They can destroy it, but if they spend like half of their mana and tapping a creature that could attack us on destroying corpses, I think that's kind of a win. So it wouldn't upset me too much. They can craft this at some point, but right now, at least, Deathcat Marionette's a great blocker for it. Okay. Am I supposed to take 4 here? Kind of think I am. I mean, the idea of blocking with Marionette it's not terrible. It's not completely terrible. Yeah, I think we will. Well, that sucks. The graveyard hate just pulled the rug right out from under us on our whole game plan, which was probably their plan all along, I guess. I can play this and transform it right away. It's not a terrible plan. Oh, interesting. Oh no, yeah, you hit Ukbenbach too. Makes sense. So what could I cast? Staunch crewmates. Those aren't really gonna do the job. That's bad. You know, that card overall I think is a little clunky, but since they just sort of completely ruined everything we were planning on doing and they're ahead, casting it feels pretty good, I bet. I mean, I think you should play Pit of Offerings in mini decks in this format, actually. So, the Graveyard Hate's good, and it's a cave, and it isn't that hard to get mana out of it, as our opponent has shown us. Cogwork Wrestler. Don't hate that. Okay. Well. Attack with both of these. Play Primordial Gnar is not bad. And then leave up Cogwork Wrestler. I could also transform this and cast a creature spell from my graveyard. I will have spent... Well, yeah. I just don't think... We don't get back something meaningful enough. Alright, so I think we attack with both of these. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to use the journal this turn anyway. Or the land part of it. I could use the journal part, not the land part. Alright, so let's attack with both of these. Then we'll play Primordial Gnar. Not like that, though. Oh, I can actually use the mana from this. I don't want to, but I can. That's why it tapped it that way. I probably should have returned corpses, gone to 4, milled myself, and returned corpses. Yeah, that's definitely what I should have done there. Because we're surprisingly safe-ish right now. I mean, if they have removal or something in their hand, not so much. But we're not in, like... For being at 5 life, there's a really good chance we make it to our next turn. So I probably should have milled myself, returned corpses, because throwing another 3-2 haste out there next turn is... pretty important. Wouldn't hate drawing our Waylaying Pirates right about now. One, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, we're only at 6 descend, so the Hulk, you know, at some point can be pretty good, but... Oh, Inverted Iceberg. That's pretty nice for them. See if they attack us here. Okay, that's less than ideal. So I was going to be able to block and use Cogwork Wrestler and keep my Oaken Siren alive, but now that's not the case. Unfortunately. So I think instead we just take it and give it -2. Yeah. Okay. Well. Tricky, tricky, tricky. All right. Well, I think what we're supposed to do here is transform our Hulk and play Journal. And not do anything else and hope that we can, you know, find a way to outvalue them, which I think is possible. I think I can really only attack with Oaken Siren, unfortunately. I mean, the Gnar is tempting. But yeah, I'm a little worried it's too dangerous. I only have one blocker. I mean, I'm dead to the flyer anyway is the thing. You know what? Yeah, I mean, if they have removal anyway, they're going to kill my Siren and kill me in the air. So I might as well just attack with both of these. Okay, so they go to 4, which definitely matters. Then we play Tarian's Journal. Then we discard our hand. Oh, I can't quite craft that. Well, that was unwise. I mean, we're still in okay shape, but not as good a shape as I thought we were. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think we do. I mean, we're dead to either of these creatures anyway, so. I think I was supposed to play my land instead of letting it get discarded. I was trying to get to 8, but, you know. I guess we already were at 8. Yeah. We only have one non-permanent, so that was dumb. I would have had to tap my Siren, though, too, so that's kind of a problem. I kind of have to hope I can, like, Staunch Crewmate into something really relevant. I think that's kind of our only out here. Oh, yeah, see, we're dead anyway, so. They got the tap effect for our Siren. You know, if I'd returned corpses the previous turn, I think we would have been in way better shape. I didn't play that game very well. Which might be an understatement, but nevertheless. Yeah, like returning corpses when we could have had haste on Ukbenbach. Although they probably would have exiled stuff from our graveyard before we could go off anyway, but still. Right, pretty good hand. Yeah, I bet they were holding on to that graveyard hate the whole time, knowing that I was going to, like, commit some mana and effort to setting it up. My guess is they had it all along, and not that they, like, top-decked it, in other words. Oh, it's annoying when they can play Kellen on turn 2. I would like to trade with him, so decrease the chances of them drawing. We did, unfortunately, mill corpses, but that's okay. Don't draw. Okay, good. They do get some card selection, but I can live with that, I think. Let's go crewmate here. Which of you do I want more? Probably Oaken Siren. Yeah. Yeah, that's not great. Not liking our chances right now. One more blue mana would be nice, but, you know. You can't have everything. I guess River Herald Scout might have drawn me an island, so that was probably unwise of me to play that. Makes it feel a little less bad that we didn't draw an island, you know? Oh, God. I love Old Tech Cloud Guard, but not when I'm having to play against it. All right. Okay, so play crewmate here. All right. Don't really have time to set it up, unfortunately. Not with these flyers coming at me. I think I'm going to go ahead and kill one of them now. Both because they could have a trick later and because I don't want that to get a counter. They are doing a number on us, you know. Black-white is what I've had the most success with so far. But the data indicates it's sort of a middling deck, but, you know, anecdotal evidence and all that. Yeah, one thing that's kind of a problem for us, has been a problem for us in this game, is our lack of blue. Guess we're going to go ahead and flip this because... why not? Can cast this Rampaging Spiketail from the graveyard. Not that that does us very much good. Yeah, they've got all these nice black-white cards that I wish I had. Alright, we're going to take 5, I guess. Pretty sure that means we're dead. Okay, Waylaying Pirates changes the game a little bit for us. A little bit. I think we're probably still dead, but, you know. So let's cast a creature spell from our graveyard, which will be Deathcat Marionette. If we had done a better job stabilizing, and our deck's lack of removal is probably its biggest problem. I guess I could have gotten in for 1 free damage there, huh? If we'd done a better job of stabilizing, this might have dug us out of this hole, but you know. That is a strange attack. I guess they just want to counter so that this is lethal next turn. Yeah. Wonder if it's better to just just block it like that so that that isn't an option for them. I mean, they have lethal next turn anyway, so it's not exactly... okay. Changes things a tiny bit. So the only other creature we have is Rampaging Spiketail, which doesn't exactly do us a whole lot here. +2/+0 and Indestructible. 4, 5, 6. And I would have to tap... Oh, no, I have Oaken Siren. So Cogwork Wrestler could come down next turn and modify combat. All right. Well, in that case... We're trying as hard as we can to stabilize here. I don't think we can do it because our life is just too low. Unfortunately. And, man, once again, our opponent kills our only flyer. And I have to tap it for mana now. But I think we're still dead even tapping it for mana. I guess we'll find out. Oh, yeah, they can just buff this enough to kill me, can't they? They should be able to. Or maybe not. Go to 1. They're worried about the backswing, I guess. Oh, I guess they didn't quite have enough. It needs more counters. Well... we're dead. So we did get to go off a little bit with, you know, you can see how strong this can be, but, you know, I guess I could have tried to get them to block my pirates or something, but there's not anything we could have drawn there that would have gotten us out of that. All right. I like it. You know, we don't have any creatures, but we've got, you know, stuff we can do early. I see. Ukbenbach's been pretty good. I don't know what you're talking about. This is interesting that my opponent and I are not doing anything. Alright, let's play Crewmate. Grab a Waylaying Pirates. So as soon as they play a creature, we'll hit it with Tithing Blade, which always feels good. Alright. Okay, so let's attack for 2. I am curious about this card. I haven't played with or against it yet, so... So we do need to discard here. Ukbenbach is honestly not a terrible idea. Oh, I can just play a land, actually. Seems like that's a little bit better, huh? Yeah. So, we still play Tithing Blade before we do, like, anything else, because right now it's just going to kill the one creature they play. So, yeah, there's Ukbenbach. There he is. Yeah, we definitely just hit it with Tithing Blade here. Tithing Blade. Attack for 3. I think we play out the Hulk now. So we can Lodestone Needle whatever the next creature they play is. Or Waylaying Pirates, for that matter, actually. That's going to be better. At first, at least. Alright, we will mill a card. Yeah, I don't hate not drawing a Spike Tail here. Well, they're going to finally be able to start doing stuff with Grasping Shadows here. Could transform this, which honestly isn't bad, except this is going to start giving Lifelink and Death Touch to the thing that attacks, which is less than ideal. Do I play my Ukbenbach here? Primordial Gnar is not a terrible play either. Yeah, I mean, I can block with it and then discover. Same thing, you know, Didact Echo's kind of in the same window. It's same category, but Primordial Gnar can at least... It can kill whatever attacks us. So, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Early, it felt like this was kind of bad for them, but it can pull you back into the game because it starts gaining you life, after all. Yeah, that's not great. I can still block, so it's not like a complete disaster, but... Now it can no longer just kill whatever attacks us, so, you know. That would be a weird choice. Because I could still just double block and kill the thing. And only lose one thing in the process. Yeah. I'm a little surprised they didn't attack, honestly, but... Maybe I'm just supposed to play Ukbenbach, huh? Probably. Doesn't look good for us, though. This is a problem on this board. Yep, they do have 2 Ukbenbachs, and I don't have any Graveyard Hate in our deck. Seems like a weird attack to me. And you want me to discover, huh? Well, it does give your Didact Echo flying, I suppose. Aw, man. The Chupacabra. Guess we're gonna play our Didact Echo. I do have Lodestone Needle mana, which is nice. I do wish it could stop the thing that attacks us, you know, right away, but I do think we play it out here and tap down their flyer. Okay. Gross. So they don't have a lot of great options in terms of what to bounce because they all have ETBs. Like no matter what. All right. Yeah, I mean that makes me spend a bunch more mana, which is something. It is something. Join the Dead, huh? That is an instant. 7 mana, huh? 8 mana. Alright, so I guess that means we replay Didact Echo and then leave up the mana. Does kind of feel like transforming Tithing Blade earlier might have worked out okay for us. Yeah, we'll just play Didact Echo again. Kind of funny, I can cast another chance, get back Cogwork Wrestler, and play it all. I can do all of that in the same turn. It's not too shabby. Lots of options. Yeah, we're milling ourselves way more quickly than they are. Unfortunately. So, you know, even if this game lasts forever, they're probably going to beat us. Should have grabbed the 5 mana 2/5 flyer that can put stuff back in our deck, huh? Okay, so yeah, now they can start drawing cards with that. The Death Touch on this is a real problem. I think we're probably just going to cast Join the Dead on it. All right, well now they're going to get back Ukbenbach. One would think, anyway. Yep. Ukbenbach number 1. want to mill? I kind of don't think so. There's our Sage of Days. It's not looking good. Yeah, I guess we're going to play our Sage. Yeah, Corpses of the Lost is pretty good. I kind of doubt it's going to bail us out, though. Why do they have one more Ukbenbach than we do? Come on. That's spicy. Okay. Well... we will double block. Does get rid of it permanently if it works because of the finality counter. Also doesn't go to their graveyard for Canonized in Blood. So that's nice too. All right. Can corpses help us outvalue them with 9 cards left in our deck? It could happen. It could happen. We have gotten to play this like every game, so I can't, can't complain about that. What do they do here? Basically the same thing we did. Yeah. How much do you guys cost to transform? 5 and 4. So we're going to go ahead and craft. I missed 1 damage, didn't I? I did. I did. This will be the first time I played a bunch of mill decks in this format, and this is the first time where I've kind of felt like there's a very real risk I mill myself out, you know? Well, I think we offer this trade and this trade. That's annoying. Well, I wanted to hold on to the Siren because of flying, mostly. God, I wish I had more cards in my deck. It doesn't seem like Tithing Blade's going to be fast enough. I think I'm just supposed to draw more cards here. And hope we find a way. That's not the way. That is not the way. Neither is that. To draw that many cards and have them all be lands is brutal in this situation. Yeah, we're gonna mill ourselves out before they can ever kill us. That's how it feels, anyway. Yeah, just... That doesn't really do us any good. Don't think anything really does. So all that's left in our deck is lands. I clicked on the wrong thing there because I feel defeated, and I am pretty much defeated. So, Another chance is Maymill. So that's kind of nice right now. I wish I'd noticed that before just now, though. Well, okay, yeah, sure. We might be able to find lethal here somehow. I don't have, like, a ton of confidence about that, but it's not impossible. Yeah, they'll grab a 4/3 flyer here. Okay. What a surprise, a land. Didn't see that coming. Alright, so we're gonna cast... Let's cast another chance, and we're not gonna mill, obviously. Waylaying Pirates. Might give us our best shot at finding lethal here. Just has such a big impact on the board and get the flyer out of the way. Swing for 6 a turn. I mean, obviously Spiketail's like our biggest threat, but I can play Caverns and Waylaying Pirates here. So let's get the Pirates. I can get both, actually, of course. So Cogwork Wrestler's not bad either. But I'm probably supposed to get these two. So I potentially have lethal next turn, actually. Play Spiketail, buff one of these, and that's a damage. They do have Acolyte, so that complicates things. They can gain enough life, but they're not going to have very many blockers next turn. So... Dang it. Didn't really want them to play a flyer there. So let's crew this. Again with our crewmate, which is our least useful body. Play Spiketail. Buff the unblockable creature. Do I just have lethal now? Swing with everything. 6 gets through. They've got 4 blockers. Not quite. And they can block everything. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they can just block every other attacker. So... Oh, wait. Unblockable. 4 other attackers. Yeah, no, I was right the first time. We might find our way out of this before milling ourselves out. So, which is usually how it goes, because if you're doing enough to mill yourself out, you've usually got some pretty sweet value things going on. There's no point in transforming this, because we know every card left in our deck is an island, is a land, and I don't really want to draw cards. So it's better to hold on to 2 and make it seem like I can do something with all my mana than it is to just transform that for free. Right now, they can only gain 1 life, which is not enough to not die to the gondola. Yeah, looks like we got there, thanks to our gondola. They're just attacking to attack, basically. This doesn't gain them life or anything. Gives them treasure. Yeah. Well, of course I'm going to block if you're going to attack me. All right. Well, we found our way out of that one before milling ourselves out. It is good to remember that that mill, get 2 creatures back card says may. Because if it didn't, we would have milled ourselves out before we found lethal. Hitting that Waylaying Pirates when we did was big. If it weren't for that, we wouldn't have been able to kill them quickly enough, most likely. Although maybe the gondola still would have gotten there. Alright, pretty good hand. So many 2-drops. I think we play crewmate. Ooh, we whiffed. Isn't going to happen very often in our deck, but we did whiff. Which of these do I want most? I haven't played a creature yet, so Lodestone Needle is pretty appealing. Yeah, let's go with Lodestone Needle. Drawing it next turn sounds pretty good, because I can play River Herald Scout and it. Our poor Confounding Riddle has been milled like a million times. We've never gotten to play it. Pondering Pirate. Well, now I don't even really feel the need to play Lodestone Needle right away. I mean, I'm okay with trading, in other words. Let's play River Herald Scout. Alright. I think we leave Staunch Crewmate on top. And then we'll also play Hermitic Nautilus. Do they grab a scary cave? No, they just grab a mountain. Once again, okay with a trade here. So I think we just offer them up. So I think we just buff this here and then play Staunch Crewmate. I guess there was a chance we were going to draw like a... draw something real with our crewmate, but... Wow, we whiffed twice. Both times there were a bunch of lands. 3 lands and a random non-pirate, non-artifact. Somebody do the math. Like, what's the probability on that? Okay, so now we just go Lodestone Needle. Hit you for 8. Yeah, we turned into an aggro deck somehow in that game, but, you know, a win's you gotta win how you can win. In that game, our opponent was the red-white deck, and we were the blue-black deck, and it sort of felt like our roles were reversed. Yeah, blue-black beat down versus red-white control. Where our opponents playing Scampering Surveyors and stuff. That seemed like a weird play in that deck. Like, they didn't grab a cave. They didn't grab a splash color. I mean, the card's good, but if you're not doing one of those, it's kind of weird. Yeah, this is a keeper. Ooh. Speaking of beatdown, I would very much like for River Herald Scout to get a second power here. We did it. Man, Confounding Riddle is so much worse when your opponent knows you're going to get it. But I think we still leave it. Like, yeah, I mean, I think we still leave it. We haven't gotten to cast the poor thing the whole draft, so... Hoo boy! That card, man. Been so much better than I expected. Oh, yeah, into removal. Swing for 4. Yeah, feels good. Okay. Well, now we can't really leave Confounding Riddle up because it's just going to be... Like, I was hoping they wouldn't be able to attack us, or they did, and we would trade. And then we could just leave Riddle up and then either counter a spell or cast Riddle and put a bunch of stuff in our graveyard. But we can't really do that anymore. So, Sage of Days isn't a terrible play. Though if they hit us again with removal, it's not so good. Join the Dead is tempting, but I think we play the Sage here. Hope we can trade again, which maybe isn't ideal. I guess corpses is pretty good here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they have removal again, this is going to hurt. Or a trick. Oh. Yeah, they have removal. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we just have to kill Belligerent Yearling now. They're playing black-red. There aren't that many ways they could save it, especially because we have Descend 4, so I guess it's better to just pass. Yeah, let's just pass. Uh-oh. They've discarded some big dinos, so that's going to have a ton of power. It doesn't have haste, is the good news. Or trample or anything. It's just a 4 toughness big ol' creature. And it's another thing I can't really counter. I think we play Ukbenbach. Our own big ol' creature. Yeah, 2 Monstrosaurs, a Spiketail. They can make it like a 17-4. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and attack. I think we leave our Riddle up. I could cast it and get corpses back, which isn't terrible. 2 skeletons can block this huge freaking creature, after all. Yeah. The only thing I worry about is if they do have some crazy spell in their hand, it's not so good for us, but they'll just play around having Confounding Riddle up anyway and make a huge creature. So I think it's probably the best use for Confounding Riddle here is look at the top 4, put one in our hand. I guess Didact Echo isn't bad. Neither is Fanatical Offering. But yeah, I think we go with the Echo. It is a flyer right now, after all. Make a huge dinosaur. It's just an 11-4, no big deal. Dang. If only I had a way to make sure that that thing died. When I cast Tithing Blade, that is. I guess we probably do still cast it here. Tithing Blade, that is. Yeah, hopefully they don't have the 1 black mana trample trick in their hand right now. That would be pretty bad for us. Yeah, we'll still play out the blade here. Yeah, don't love that. Oh man, double removal. All right, what are you gonna do? I had a feeling they had something like that since they were so interested in getting the 11-4, but yeah. Well, 3-3. You know, have I had a losing record in this format yet? I think maybe I had a 2-3 once. I've had a lot of 500 records, or I've also won 6 once and 7 twice, but been a lot of 3s. Not terrible. I think the deck was good. What it really lacked was like 2 more removal spells. Like that's what we needed to really reach the point where we could actually like outlast opponents. That was our big problem. Is that card would have been nice for us, huh? Terror Tide. If our opponent played something that we couldn't kill, it was pretty bad news in a lot of situations. So, but it was fun. You know, we ground out some wins. We had that weird aggro win.